Hello students, this is the chapter number 5 of class 7, industries. This chapter includes the different types of industries in our country. If we talk about definition, industry is considered as the secondary activity that manufacture or that processes the raw materials into the finished products. That means the raw materials are being processed in a place which we call industry, and then they are converted into the finished products. Coming into why industries are important, there are many reasons why industries are important. The first one is it provides the development base for a country. Many industries boost up the development of a country. It meets the growing needs of the people who are living in the country. Their demands, their all the important things are met by the industries in a different ways. The industries also provides the continuous flow of wealth in the hands of farmer, in the hands of industrialist, in the hands of producer, in the hand of consumer and the suppliers, and so on. The next is to provide the basic needs. Basic needs means the human, it provides the basic needs, that is essential human needs, which are important for the people to live, from the toothpaste to the clothes to the refrigerators to the televisions and so on. It also helps in the improvement of standard of living. The standard of living actually is the basic requirement, how we are living and what amenities we have to live our life. These standards of living are only improved when the people are depending on the industrial materials which the industries are providing us. For an example, it could be the people who are more developed, having more standard of living, may have more modern means of different way of living the life. Maybe the people may have the different ways of cooking the food, different ways of entertaining themselves. So this is what we call as the improvement in the standard of living. So industries are important to provide the to provide the development, to increase the development of a country, to meet the needs of the people, to help them grow in getting more resources and so on. Now the next topic is the classification of industries. The industries can be classified on 5 bases, but according to your syllabus there are only 3 types of industries given. The first one is the industries on the basis of raw materials. These are agro based industries, mineral based industries, marine based industries and forest based industries. Let's start with the basis of raw materials. So agro based industries are the industries which depends on the raw material which we get from the agriculture. Basically these are the industries like cotton textile industry, jute textile industry. Then we have mineral based industry which use the raw material from the minerals like aluminium, it may be iron ore, it may be bauxite, and it may be other minerals which are used by the industries, and these industries then process these raw materials into finished products. The third one is the marine based industry. These marine based industries are actually using the sea products. The sea products means the seaweeds, aquatic plants or the fish, and they convert them into either the food processing units, convert them into the different eatables or the fish oil and etc. The fourth one is the forest based industry. Basically these are the industries which are using the raw material from the forest. It could be resin, it could be perfumes, it could be the different type of wood products which are being used in the industry to convert it into the finished products. So these are the industries on the basis of raw material. These are using the raw materials from different sources, and according to those sources they are considered as agro based, mineral based, marine based and forest based industries. Now moving into the another set of industries are the industries, we classify them on the basis of the size. These are the industries depending on the amount of production they do, the amount of capital they invest and the amount of technology they use in the production of the goods. The first one is the small scale industry. These small scale industries are using small capital, less money. Because they have less money and less capital, they have short machineries or small machineries, and so they produce small or less production. As they are small, they don't use much high technology for example silk weaving and food processing units. If we talk about the cottage industries, they are basically the industries which are in the households. Households means these are in the houses of the people, and basically the production is done with the hands. This may be pottery making, jute bag making, basket weaving, and etc. These are the medium based industries. It depends from one household to another household the size of the industry. The large scale industry depends on high capital investment. The investment is so high because they need bigger machineries, they need more machineries, new and high technology to build in the finished products. This could be the automobile industries, shipbuilding industries, it could be the iron and steel industries, those who are providing the base to the other sorts of industries. And then the next part we have the ownership, the private sector industries. These private sector industries are actually run and owned by an individual or the group of individuals. When I talk about the group of individuals, it could be 5-6 people together running an industry. For example, in India we have Reliance Industries, we have Tata Motors and etc. These are the industries owned by a single person. So these private sector industries are actually profit driven industries. They need profit to work on. Second is the public sector industry. This public sector industry is actually owned and operated by the government. Operated by the government means whatever the profit is earned by this industry is distributed among the people, those who are working, among the labor that is working in the industry. These are basically the BSNL, that is the Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, LIC, Life Insurance India or corporation. The joint sector industry is the corporation between the private sector and the public sector. That means the private and the public, both the government and the individual are together working in these industry. These are the best example is the Maruti Udyog, where the shares are with both the person and the government. Then we have the cooperative industries. These are basically run by the group of people, and these group of peoples either may be the supplier of the raw material or they may be the producers, those who are purchasing the raw material from the suppliers, and these all are converting them into the finished product. So if I talk about the ownership, we have 4 types of industries: private sector, public sector, joint sector and cooperative sectors. Then we have the next topic. The next topic is the factors that relate to the establishment of an industry. So this is very important topic if we talk about the establishment of an industry, and this establishment of an industry could be on the basis of different things. See, the next slides which comes up is the factors related to the establishment of an industry. This is the raw material, power, labor, land, capital, transport, market, communication, water. These all are very important. Without these all important factors, an industry cannot be established. If I talk about raw material, the area where we get in the raw material should be, the industry should be nearby the source of raw material. The power should be uninterrupted power supply, and this should be at the reasonable rate. Labor should be available, skilled labor and unskilled labor. Both the types of labor should be available in the vicinity of the industry. Capital, the nearby areas should have the nice capital availability facilities, that is the bank should be providing the loan on the reasonable rates, or they may be financial institutions, those could be able to provide good financial opportunities to the industrialist. Land is the prime important factor. If I say land is the prime important factor, is the land should be chosen at a place where you are able to get labor, where you are able to get the raw material, and where you are able to cope up with the capital requirements of an industry. So land is considered as an important factor when a person choose the place for an industry to establish. Now moving on to the another aspects of the establishment of an industry, that is the transport and market. See, if I talk about transport, the market should be nearby the industry. If the market is not nearby the industry, what happens is the transportation cost of the industrial products increases. For example, if I talk about a pencil, if a pencil industry where the pencil is manufactured, if that particular industry is far away from the source of the wood, that means the raw material they are getting or procuring the raw material from the far away places. So, when they are getting the raw material through the transport, the extra charges of the transport also will be added in the manufacturing of the pencil. So, what is being important is we have to take in account that the market should be nearby and the transportation cost should be reduced, because otherwise this transportation cost will be added in the price of the commodity and the price of the commodity will increase. In the same way, the power, there should be uninterrupted power. I have told you just now, this power should be in a regular supply. Regular supply means it should not be disturbed, and continuous flow of power should be there for the industry, because if there is less power, the production will be less. Now, the types of industry, the first one is the iron and steel industry. You can see in the picture the iron and steel industry. Picture shows that there are three raw materials. The first raw material is iron ore, the second is limestone, and the third is coal. And you can see a blast furnace in the picture. This blast furnace is actually used to separate the iron from the iron ore. Iron ore is basically a stone which consists of iron. So, in the blast furnace, the iron ore is heated up with limestone, and the coal is required to produce fire, and then this iron is extracted from the ore in this blast furnace. You can see an arrow which shows you that the blast furnace produces the steel. This steel is refined and converted into the products. All right. Now, processing of steel manufacturing industry, transport of raw material to the place, and the blast furnace I have told you, it can be converted into the pig irons. These pig irons are actually the raw iron, RAW, raw iron, after we are collecting it from the blast furnace, and then we can mold them into the different shapes. We can change them into the sheets, we can change them into the pipes, we can change them into the bricks, and so on. And this basically is done only in the iron and steel industry. When we talk about steel, the steel is then purified, and this iron, if I say steel is purified, means iron is purified by putting in magnesium, nickel and chromium added to the iron ore, and then it gives us the pure steel. This steel is very hard, it is very tough, and it is basically, if I talk about, it is rust free. Rust free means it has got no rusting characteristics in it when we talk about the refining steel. If we talk about the different types of industries, iron and steel industry is regarded as the backbone of the industries in the country or in the whole world. Except iron and ore, we cannot imagine any of the industry in the world, either it be a construction industry, either it be a automobile industry, or it be a hospital sector. We cannot imagine any sector without iron and steel. So, it is the prime industry helping in the development of a nation. If we talk about the iron, when it is mixed with aluminium, nickel and copper, it forms alloy, and these alloys are really hard, durable, tough and rust free. So, they are easy to use, not only easy to use, but they also give the ability to produce different types of commodities with the help of these alloys. In Germany, there are many iron and steel industries being flourishing in the Ruhr region. This is the region in Germany which is flourishing in iron and steel industries. The iron and steel industries are flourishing not only in India, but also in many other nations as USA, Japan, India, Russia and Germany. In India, we have 10 major steel plants, but the most important are Bhilai, Durgapur, Burnpur, Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Bokaro, Vishakhapatnam and Salem. These all plants are concentrated in the Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh region. These Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh region are the areas in India which are rich in iron ore, manganese, limestone and other raw materials, and these areas are providing with best labor, and this labor is skilled as well as unskilled. So, these are the areas in India which are basically the areas where the iron and steel plants are located. You do not have to learn all the names, only you have to learn 5 names of iron and steel plants. The next industry comes up is the textile industry. This textile industry is one of the largest industry occupying or giving the employment to the number of people. The teeming population of India is being getting the employment through the textile industry. And what basically the textile is converting the raw cotton, converting the fiber, converting the thread into the cloth. This the process of conversion of fiber into the cloth is done in an industry. This industry is known as the textile industry. If we talk about the procedure of making cloth, the cotton fiber is extracted from the plant. Cotton is a type of a plant like rose. We have flower in the rose. Similar way, we get the cotton from the plants, and this cotton is taken out from the plant, and then it is cleaned and segregated from the seeds. Once after it is segregated from the seeds, the cotton is being put into the machines to convert them into the fibers, that means to convert them into the threads. These fibers are known as silver, or these threads are known as silvers. Earlier this all work was done by charkha, but now we are modern, we have come up with the different types of machines. So, what we do, we put the cotton in the machine, and then we can take out the silver like threads from the machines, and these silver like threads are woven. After they are being woven, they come up in a form or in a shape of a cloth. This cloth is known as fabric. If you see the picture, I have given you the picture, you can see a big piece of cloth coming up from the industry, that is known as fabric, and then this fabric is being cut, stitched, and designed shapes are being made. In whatever way you want, you can wear these fabrics. We have two types of machines in India. One is the hand driven machine, and the another is the machine driven machine, electricity driven machine. The hand driven machine is known as hand loom, and the electricity driven machine is known as power loom. The hand looms cloth are very costlier, because maybe 1 meter of cloth can take a full 1 day to make the cloth, but the machine made or power loom made clothes are cheaper, they are durable, they are attractive, they are cheap. It is because in 1 day you can manufacture some thousands of meters of cloth. The handlooms are being done by the weavers in different parts of the city, but if I talk about electricity or the power loom, they are in the big industrial houses in the country, in different parts of the country they are producing the clothes. If you talk about the clothes made by the power loom, they are attractive also. In India, we have at 3 places, basically we have at many places, but Jamshedpur, Ahmedabad and Mumbai are the leading producers of cotton textile mills in our country, and in the world, India is the leading producer, followed by China, Japan and USA. These are also the highest producers of the textile industries in India. The next coming up industry is the information technology, the need of the time. This information technology industry is getting more acknowledgement nowadays because of the COVID-19 scenario, wherein the classes are being held through information technology, that is the online classes are being going on. If we talk about hospital, the registrations are being done in the hospital through the technological industries. The information technology basically deals in communication. This communication is being done by the people through the servers. These servers are the storage or the data houses, wherein the data of the different consumers are loaded or saved. These data can be accessed through internets and the networks. They support and they give help through the application. These applications can be downloaded in our phones, in our laptops, in the tabs and so on. These applications can be accessed to these instruments, and these instruments provide us the security password to access the data. This database is served or this database is processed in a different manner in a different companies. If we talk about the information technology in India, we have the basic and the important center in India at Bengaluru. This center provides us with the skilled managers working in the different IT sectors, providing us with the highest technology and the scientific method to work in the different fields of the technological areas. The information technology industry basically can grow in the areas where the resource availability is much. This resource availability could be at the low cost and the infrastructure should be much. This infrastructure is needed to install the servers, because server cannot be installed in a single room, it needs a large space, and so we need a big infrastructure wherein the different companies can install their servers, and these servers can be accessed by different consumers or different people. If I talk about the area where these industries can flourish, then these industries can flourish in an area where the temperature is mild or the temperature is conducive, and this mild temperature helps in the server to work easily, because if the temperature increases, then the server also will not work according to the desired quality or desired way. The distribution of the industries in the world is in Silicon Valley in California, and in India we have Bengaluru. These are the two major hubs, but at present if we talk about, these hubs have increased in Germany, in America, in Canada, in many other areas. It's basically because the people are more depending on the IT industries rather than the manual labors, because it's easy to save the data, is easy to access the data. This is the completion of this slide. We will meet in the industry 2.